this is my persuasive speech titled Grade Point Average, the Deceiving Gauge of Educational Success. Alright, so if you're walking around a college campus, you can just about ask anyone and they would know their GPA. The reasons? Well, you need your GPA for a lot of reasons. You might need to apply for a scholarship or a job, just all sorts of different reasons. I mean, and also, your GPA would determine what type degree you get, if you're successful, all these things. So here's an interesting question: how well does the grade point average determine how prepared you are after college? Well, personally, I don't believe your grade point average is a very good indicator of how prepared you are. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think that. First off, what is your grade point average, or GPA? And how does the grade point average system work? Well, your grade point average system is just a grading system where numerical values are averaged to percentage grade, and then the average again to give you an overall average grade. In this table, which is actually straight out of the University of Central Florida Undergraduate Advisory Guide handbook, shows UCF's grading system. And this is how it works. You might have an A, which is equal to a 4.0, as most of us know. A minus 3.75, B 3.0, C 2.0, D 1.0, so on. So, it would work if I had 3 A's and 1 B, you would average your 3 4's and 1 3, and you would have like a 3.75. So, with that said, these numbers are supposed to be how well you're prepared. These particular numbers. So, you ask, why is it that this is inaccurate or not a good indicator? Well, easy. It's too easy to manipulate. So most of you might ask, well, how can you manipulate your GPA? I've never done that. Most of us, probably assume we've never tried to, cheat or anything like that. So, this brings me to my next point. Sure, a lot of you have been to this website. I'm one person that's definitely been to this website quite a few times. Well, here's a few quotes from the website. First one: very interesting teacher, but course is very difficult. Stay away if you need a good grade. Okay? Interesting. Next one: very boring, but the class is easy. Don't need to come to class, just read the book and you'll get an easy A. Okay? So, which teacher would you pick? Personally, I would probably pick the second one. Easiest way out, right? Sure. Well, I guess you have to ask yourself this question: do you want to learn a lot and maybe get lower grades, or do you want to not learn so much and have a good GPA? Well, it's up to you, I guess, but personally, it should be the first one, in my opinion. Alright, so, what else is wrong with this? Teachers. They know, not to fault any teachers. It's not their fault, but most teachers teach differently. Not all teachers are the same. Some are just easier than others. Some might grade easier, some might teach easier, some might just cover less information. So here's a little scenario. We've got two teachers here, teacher 1 and teacher 2. Teacher 1, interesting, teacher 2, boring. Teacher 1, excellent teaching skills, teacher 2, not so much. Teacher 1, students understand everything clearly. 2, also not so much. Teacher 1, very challenging, but in a tough grader. Okay, that throws us all off right there. Teacher 2, very few assignments and grades easy. Well, I think I know who I would pick. Unfortunately, teacher 1 would be, much better as far as preparing me for my future. Teacher 2 would be great for your GPA. Alright, next point. How else can you manipulate your GPA? Well, course selection. Lucky for us, we go to a major university. There are a lot of different courses, and that's a good thing. We have a lot of variety, a lot of things to choose from. But unfortunately, most of us, most students, pick the easiest course, even though it might not benefit us. So, basically, do you want to choose a course based on what you will learn or your GPA? Again, a lot of students choose courses based on the grade they'll get, not what they'll learn. Alright, so why is, who's affected by the GPA system in the fall? Really? Well, for one, students are, us. We're affected because when we graduate, we have, some of us may have 3.0 or higher, 3.5, some even a 4.0. And the future employer looks at that and it's like, oh, wow, he knows what he's doing. He's prepared. But did he just take easy classes and easy teachers and kind of float his way through college? Or did he really challenge himself? Or he or she? Did they challenge themselves and actually learn something, to prepare them for their job? Well, that's the second point. Employers, they're affected by this. I mean, employer, if I looked at an application and I saw, 4.0, this kid knows what he's doing. And I looked at another one, 2.5, probably doesn't know what he's doing. But what you don't know is that kid that has a 2.5 may have taken very challenging courses and probably, would know more information than student 1. Well, it's just too unclear. The employer can't tell by looking at a GPA. So, how can we fix this? Well, I have a quote from Marvin Owens at Princeton University. He wrote an essay, and in his essay, he encouraged the pass-fail system. Encouraging learning through incentives such as grades is not in keeping with contemporary education philosophy, which says a student should study because he is interested in the subject, not a grade in the subject. I really couldn't have said it any better, so that pretty much explains it. You should actually want to learn. So, is the pass-fail system perfect? No. Is the GPA system perfect? No. Maybe we should combine the two. Maybe we should use pass-fail on the prerequisites or the just regular classes that really don't help our major, and maybe we should use a GPA on the major classes. Maybe we could do something like this. But in reality, there's really no way to fix the system completely, but there are ways to improve it. I guess the best thing to do, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself, take courses that are going to help you learn. That way, even if you don't, get out of here with the best GPA, you'll know what you're doing. But with that said, when you do get a job one day, the employer will know, even if you don't have the highest GPA, he'll know that you're prepared.